the internet has forged new opportunities for aspiring animators. I've seen my fair share of exciting and new ideas. Yet, there's one web series that took the internet by storm. The Amazing Digital Circus is a 3D animated comedy horror web series created by Gooseworks. We follow Pomni, an anxious woman trapped inside an eerie virtual reality game. She's being held captive by Kane, an evil AI ringmaster who drives his prisoners to the brink of insanity. Pomni and 5 other unlucky souls must find a way to escape or risk suffering an eternity of digital madness. Originally, I wasn't interested in doing this show, but after hearing how great episode 7 was, I finally caved in and binged the series. Digital Circus is not your ordinary weird internet cartoon. It's strange, horrifying, and yet somehow mesmerizing. There's nothing like it on the market, and I knew I had to cover it. Strap in, this review is gonna be a trip. Oh, and by the way, full spoilers ahead. I had some reservations going into Digital Circus. While I enjoyed the pilot for its intrigue and quirky animation, it didn't exactly blow me away. I have seen way better pilots before. As the show progressed, however, its popularity began to skyrocket. It made a huge dent on the art community, so I finally watched The Amazing Digital Circus, at least up to episode 7 at the time of writing this. And I'll be upfront, it's a good series with some caveats. It's similar to your average Adult Swim cartoon. It's highly experimental and very edgy, but its artistic vision remains unneutered. This approach, however, is a double-edged sword. At its peak, Digital Circus is a funny and poignant show. At the same time, it's a little too fast-paced for its own good. The plot might be easy to understand, but it's way too easy to lose track of all the finer details. It's a bit overwhelming if you're not used to this ADHD style of writing. If you're unfamiliar with the show, I'll give a quick primer on the circus crew and their goals. Pomni, our protagonist, is an anxious jester in her mid-20s. She soon befriends, or at the very least, gets acquainted with the other prisoners. Ragatha is an old-time ragdoll who's bursting with forced optimism. It's so forced, it comes off as inauthentic. In reality, she and the other cellmates are making the best of a crappy situation. Then there's Kinger, a paranoid chess piece guy. On occasion, he'll have a minute of mental clarity, but after that, he goes back to being insane. Up next is Gangle, a theater mask tsundere. She's constantly on the verge of tears. Then we have Zubul, a genderless mix and match toy who's perpetually grumpy. So how do all these characters live together? Well, they don't.
You got it.
I actually didn't mean to do that.
Later, in the void.
Ah, just like Mom used to make.
Nice shot!
Pomni and the circus crew live under the thumb of Kane, an AI ringmaster and overseer of the game. He rules with an iron fist with his companion Bubbles. He claims he wants to help his prisoners find mental clarity. In reality, he's been programmed with devious intent and is prone to glitching out. And the whole game is prone to glitching out. The goal of the circus crew is to find an escape route. Through mysterious means, all the prisoners were captured after they put on their VR headsets. Pomni was the closest to finding a way out, but Kane stopped her in time. In the meantime, the crew must find a way to entertain themselves. If you spend enough time in the circus, you could lose your mind. You transform into a corrupt piece of digital goo. Yuck! This process is called abstraction. Now, with the clock ticking, the circus crew begins to chip away at the game's many mysteries.
I want to keep the mystery alive. What do you, the viewers, think it is?
Will you stop doing that?
Oh god, Jax. This guy is a hoot. Jax is a bloodthirsty psychopath in the form of a cartoon bunny. He's sarcastic, sleazy, and has an appetite for causing destruction. But deep down, he's a disturbingly broken man. He is the equivalent of a Grand Theft Auto protagonist being dropped inside of a children's game. Jax is my favorite character precisely for how he gets his comeuppance. He also has some of the best one-liners.
Think we all look weird.
Excuse you, this is what peak male performance looks like.
One pathetic sob story later.
Episode 7 did a great job dismantling his jerk facade. Jax decided a long time ago that his in-game actions no longer had real-life implications. Thus, his jackass persona is an extreme manifestation of a coping mechanism. Digital Circus does an amazing job exposing these layers, and it could not have achieved that without some of the animation. Digital Circus is not the prettiest or most visually coherent show on the market. It's a weird mix of bright colors and creepy monsters. It shouldn't work, but it uses this incongruity to its advantage. The show is set inside an unfinished virtual reality game for all ages. It's modeled after those point-and-click adventure games on Windows 95, particularly Putt Putt and Pajama Sam. In this show, we have cute characters facing depression, loneliness, and eldritch abominations. My goodness, they all need therapy. The show fully embraces this tonal whiplash, which greatly enhances the settings for a boding and uneasy atmosphere. You never know if Pomni or her prison mates will be the same after each adventure. It reminds me of the Adult Swim cartoon, Smiling Friends. It's this edgy comedy filled with scathing pessimism and bizarre visuals. This connection was confirmed when Zach Hadel, one of the co-creators, made a cameo in the circus.
We should help him smile, Charlie.
Pim, you know the rules. We can't force someone to accept our help.
But it's Gwimbly. He formed an essential part of my childhood. I hate to see him like this.
Hey there! If you want to find my sunken treasure chest, you'll have to try better than that.
I'm the one that tells lies.
Dude, you ruined it.
What?
It caught me off guard, but in a good way. Speaking of catching me off guard, Digital Circus is genius in how it designed its cast. They're simple, but unconventional in their composition. None of the circus crew are alike in proportion or facial features. You take one look at Jax, Ragatha, or Kane, and you know exactly what their personalities are. Now, I'm not a character designer, so I don't know how they pulled it off, but Glitch did an impeccable job creating such a recognizable cast. Another strength is the animation itself. The pilot itself was pretty good, but as the series progressed, everything got better tenfold. It doesn't matter which episode you're on, the characters are bouncy and highly expressive. The storyboarding is also amazing, with it featuring dynamic angles and exciting action scenes. The animation additionally excels in the little details. If you look closely, the characters have their own unique facial quirks. Jax has gritted teeth that are perpetually glued to one another. Ragatha's mouth cycles between multiple cutouts to mimic lip flaps. Kinger and Zubul don't have mouths, but their eyes do all the heavy lifting. This attention to detail greatly elevates the slower moments. My favorite part of the Digital Circus is the therapy scenes. Pomni and her prison mates have a heart-to-heart conversation about their personal issues. Someone makes a speech about healing, and the characters mature as people. Every episode has a scene like this where everything slows down and takes a breath. Now, Digital Circus walks a fine line between absurdity and corny melodrama. If you lean too far into either side, viewers will have no reason to invest themselves in the world. And thankfully, the showrunners strike the perfect balance. First, the dialogue is naturalistic and doesn't speak down to the viewer. Secondly, the characters don't shy away from darker topics. Pomni and her friends openly discuss her feelings of isolation, losing one's wife, and coping with living inside a meaningless digital prison. Thirdly, the theme of lack of meaning ties back to every character's inner turmoil. When all you do is repeat the same routine day in and day out, it feels like whatever you do has no lasting repercussions. The circus gang gives their own answers to this conundrum. Some just ball up and cry, others embrace a chaotic personality. Finally, the vocal direction is simply superb. You can feel the vulnerability and honesty in each performance. I can buy that Kinger sincerely misses his wife, or how Ragatha's people-pleaser attitude comes off as disingenuous and off-putting to the other characters. My favorite therapy scene happens in episode 3. Pomni and Kinger are trapped inside a digital version of hell. Pomni is scared, but Kinger assures her that if she can hold onto the memories of her best friends, both of them can find enough courage to get out of there.
You're just gonna go back to being crazy. You're not gonna remember any of this.
Don't worry about me. As long as you remember it, things will be okay. We'll get through it together.
Moments later.
Oh, Pomni, Kinger, are you guys okay? Was it scary?
I'm fine, actually.
The camaraderie between him and Pomni is quite touching. For a show that's bold and brash in style, it handles its calmer moments with such amazing care. These therapy scenes are the linchpin to the show's staying power. It's one thing to create a show that's genuinely funny, imaginative, and scary. It's another thing to make me invested in the struggles of a jester and her equally depressed friends. But I haven't gotten to the best part, the mystery. The Amazing Digital Circus is a 9-episode miniseries bursting with mystery. What's the true purpose behind the circus? Why is it so hard to leave? How does Kane keep his teeth so shiny? Does he listen to Chip Skylark on loop every morning? The creators did an amazing job handling these plot threads. It plants enough hints to invite speculation, but it also develops the characters beyond the surface level. At the start of the video, I mentioned that episode 7 is what finally convinced me to do this video. And since we're already here, let's examine why. In episode 7, Beach episode, the circus crew bumps into Abel, this mannequin guy who claims to be one of the game's original developers. Apparently, Abel has a master plan to free the crew. Jax doesn't buy it, deducing it's another one of Kane's mind games.
Yeah, let's just all follow Mr. Obvious Twist Villain instead.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Fast forward to the end, and the crazy bunny man was actually right this time. This episode had me on the edge of my seat. I mean, the Smiling Friends cameo and the intermission sequence were pretty funny, but it succeeded for one simple reason: its masterful use of narrative tension. From the onset, the audience knew that Abel was nothing but a phony. Anyone who's read the Old Testament knows about the tragic story of Cain and Abel. You know, one bro gets jealous of the other bro's success. I mean, Abel, Cain and Abel. It's a very obvious parallel, but in the context of Digital Circus, it's still effective. Why is it effective? Because of the careful buildup. The circus gang has endured some serious crap thus far, and they're hanging on by a thread.
1 down, 4 to go.
All right, I'm calling a vote, and also make Jax a vegan for the rest of the day.
You can't do that. What do you mean you can do that?
This desperation makes perfect sense, and it furthers the show's sense of existential dread. The best part was Jax's gradual breakdown. We learned that Jax has some repressed memories. During the team deathmatch episode, Pomni thought she became his best friend.
You're scared. You'll actually show a human emotion. What would you do if I abstracted tomorrow?
I'd move on and probably forget about you.
Let's just say she didn't take it too well. Back to episode 7. Jax privately weeps for the loss of his digital homies. So it's inferred he was able to make genuine friends, but Kane's antics drove them insane. Meanwhile, he finds Abel's sudden appearance a little too convenient.
You know what's gonna happen when we do all this? Kane's gonna pop out and say, "Congratulations!" and everything's gonna go back to the way it always was.
Moments later.
Congratulations! You picked the good ending!
I was right?
His gut instinct was correct, but deep down, he was desperate to be proven wrong. By the climax, the circus crew debates which of the two buttons will enable them to exit the game. The anticipation of what's going to happen has been building up. The stress gets to Jax's head, and he pushes the stay in the game button, and it turns out it was another scheme by Kane. Jax has a full-on breakdown. The disappointment, the nervous laughter, the genuine fury in his voice.
You dirty liar! You scumbag!
Huh?
You can mess with our minds too, can't you? The stupid sauce, the vegan thing, God knows what else!
Holy crap. His performance is Oscar-worthy, man. Kane leaves the crew in total shock. Jax and the team have no idea what to do next. Just wow. Now that's how you do a cliffhanger. Okay, let's wrap this up. The Amazing Digital Circus is downright mesmerizing. It's funny, visually ambitious, and legitimately scary. It did not shy away from sensitive topics like isolation, depression, and existentialism. If you're looking for your next animation fix, You can't get any better than Digital Circus, and I can't wait for episode 8. And so, thanks for watching. Special thanks goes to Akari Talks for doing the Pomni artwork. Akari is super talented, and you should check her out. Lastly, big thanks to SketchSpud for lending his help with the script. Remember, no NPCs were harmed in the making of this video.